Hey, welcome to the Biochemistry Academy. In this playlist, we'll talk about the chemistry of lipids. But the first video in the playlist is lipids. What are lipids? Lipids are of great importance to the body as they are the chief storage form of energy. They also play an important role in cellular structure and biological function. Now, to define a lipid might be actually hard because lipids are a heterogeneous group of compounds. But we can define lipids as an organic substance that is relatively insoluble in water and soluble in organic solvents like alcohol, ether, etc. Unlike other biomolecules, lipids are not polymers. Lipids are mostly small molecules. Classifications of lipids. Lipids are classified into 1. Simple lipids, 2. Complex or compound lipids, 3. Derived lipids, 4. Miscellaneous lipids. Simple lipids. They are the esters of fatty acid with alcohol. They are mainly of two types, 1. Fat and oil, which are also known as triglycerols. These are the esters of fatty acid with glycerol. The difference between fat and oil is only physical, in that oil is a liquid that is mostly found in plants like cereal. And that is why we have the groundnut oil, the soybean oil, and the rest. While fat is solid at room temperature, it is mainly found in animals. The other type of simple lipids are waxes. They are the ester of fatty acid, usually long-chain fatty acid with alcohols other than glycerol. 2. Complex or compound lipids. These are the esters of fatty acid with alcohol containing an additional group such as a phosphate group, a nitrogenous base, carbohydrate, protein, etc. These complex or compound lipids are further divided into phospholipids. What are phospholipids? Phospholipids contains a phosphoric acid that is added to the alcohol and the fatty acid. There are two types of phospholipids. 1 is the glycerol phospholipids. These are the phospholipids that contains glycerol as the alcohol, meaning that glycerol is the backbone. Example of such lipids are lecithin, which is also known as phosphatidylcholine, and cephalin, which is also known as phosphatidylethylamine. The second type of phospholipid is the sphingophospholipid. In this type of phospholipid, sphingosine is the alcohol, meaning that they do not have glycerol as the backbone, but rather they have sphingosine as the backbone. Now that single fatty acid is bounded to the backbone by an amide bond. The next type of complex or compound lipids are the glycolipids. These lipids contain a fatty acid that is bounded to a carbohydrate and a nitrogenous base. The alcohol is sphingosine, hence they are also called glycosphingolipids. Glycerol and phosphate are absent. Examples of such kind of lipids are the cerebrocytes and the gangliosides. The next type of complex or compound lipids are the lipoproteins. The lipoproteins are the micromolecular complexes that are formed when lipid is binded with protein. There are 4 different types of lipoproteins. We have the chylomicrons, We have the very high density lipoprotein. We have the high density lipoprotein, also known as the good cholesterol. The third types of lipids that we have are the derived lipids. These are the derivatives that are obtained from the hydrolysis of simple or complex lipids, which possess a characteristics of lipids. Examples of such lipids are the soluble vitamins, the steroid hormones, and ketone bodies. The fourth type of lipid we have is the miscellaneous lipids. This includes a large number of compounds possessing the characteristics of lipids. Examples of such are the carotenoids and the squalene. Lipids which are unchanged are called neutral lipids. They are either mono, di, or triacylglycerol, cholesterol, and cholesterol esters. Functions of lipids. 1. They are the concentrated fuel reserve of the body. 2. They are the constituent of the cell membrane structure, and they regulate the membrane permeability. Example are the phospholipid and the cholesterol. They allow certain molecules to enter the cell and do not allow any other molecules to enter. 3. They serve as a source of fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin D, E, and K. 4. Lipids are important as cellular metabolic regulators. Examples of such regulators are the steroid hormones and the prostaglandins. 5. Lipids protect the intestinal organ, serving as an insulating material, and they give shape and smoothing the appearance of the body. In our next video, we'll talk about fatty acids and lipoproteins.